If you're running a small business, you know the feeling, right? Juggling invoices, trying to track expenses, staring at your screen trying to figure out your cash flow, it's a lot. And the big question is always, what's the right tool to get it all under control? Well, today, we're doing a deep dive into the biggest name in the game, QuickBooks Online.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the basics. What even is QuickBooks Online? Then we'll pop the hood and see what it can really do. We'll figure out who it's actually for, and then we'll tackle the big one, the real cost. After that, we'll hear what actual users are saying, the good and the bad, before we wrap it all up with our final verdict.
All right, so Section 1, what is QuickBooks Online? Look, this isn't just some random accounting software. For decades, QuickBooks has pretty much been the industry standard. It's the benchmark that every other tool for small businesses gets measured against.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. PC Mag nails it with this quote. They call it the service to beat and point to its depth and customizability. You know, when a major publication says that, it really tells you everything about why it's such a dominant force in the market. The whole idea behind QuickBooks is to be your business's financial command center. You know, a single source of truth. It wants to connect everything, your accounting, your expenses, how you get paid, even your payroll, all in one place. The goal? To stop you from having to jump between a dozen different apps just to know what's going on. So that's the big picture view. But now let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are the specific features that make this thing tick? What can it actually do for your business, day in and day out? Okay, so you see this number, 800 plus. It's a big number, for sure. But what does it really mean? This is the number of third-party apps it integrates with. And that's not just a vanity metric. This is the key to making QuickBooks the actual hub of your business. It means it can talk to the tools you're already using, from PayPal to Shopify, and that automates a ton of work for you.
Now let's get a little technical for a second. QuickBooks uses what's called double entry accounting. That's the gold standard your accountant will love you for. And you see inventory is listed as advanced? That's because it's genuinely powerful if you sell physical products. But the real magic, its core strength, is in the reporting. It lets you slice and dice your data in some incredibly powerful ways.
And you know, business doesn't just happen at a desk anymore, right? This is where the mobile app becomes an absolute powerhouse. You can literally snap a photo of a receipt to log an expense. It can automatically track your mileage for tax deductions. You can even create and send an invoice right there in a client's driveway. It basically puts your entire financial operation right in your pocket. Okay, we've seen all the cool stuff it can do, but here's the thing. The most powerful tool in the world is useless if it's not the right fit for you. So let's really figure out who QuickBooks is designed for by breaking it down by business type. First up, what if you're a one-person show? You know, a freelancer, a consultant? Well, there are plans like Simple Start that are built just for you. They strip out all the complicated stuff and focus on the essentials: managing your income and expenses, sending out professional invoices, and getting your books ready for tax time without being totally overwhelming. Now, this is where QuickBooks really starts to flex. If your business sells actual stuff, physical goods, its advanced inventory tracking is a huge game changer. It handles stock levels, sure, but the critical part is that it plugs directly into major sales channels like Shopify, Amazon, and eBay. That integration automates a mountain of accounting work. And what if you're not planning to stay small? This is a big one. QuickBooks is built to scale with you. Their top plan, Advanced, supports up to 25 users and gives you incredibly deep, customizable reports. So as your business gets more complicated, the software keeps up, giving you the insights you need to make those bigger, smarter decisions. All right, all those features and that scalability sound great, don't they? But that brings us to the elephant in the room, the question every business owner has to ask. What is this actually going to cost me? Let's look at the numbers. So here's the breakdown of their standard monthly pricing. It kicks off at $38 a month for the Simple Start plan and goes all the way up to $275 for the Advanced plan. You can clearly see how the price climbs with the number of users and the features you get. It's definitely a premium product. But hold on, because that sticker price isn't always the whole story. You've really got to be aware of the add-ons. Payroll is the perfect example. It's a whole separate service that starts with a base fee, $45 a month, plus an extra $5 for every single employee you have. Those little costs can sneak up on you and add up fast.
So we know the features, we know the price. But what's it actually like to use it every single day? To get the real story, we need to hear from the people who are in the trenches, the small business owners themselves. Let's see what they think.
Let's start with the good stuff. Michelle C. here hits on one of the biggest selling points we've been talking about, that seamless integration. When everything just works together without a hitch, it's a massive time saver and it cuts down on so many headaches.
But wait, here's the catch. And it's from the very same user, Michelle. She points out the other side of the coin, the cost. This is such a common theme you hear from users. The value is there, but you are absolutely paying for it. And those monthly fees can become a pretty hefty line item on your budget.
And now for a big one. This right here, from Vanessa G., might just be the most frequent and frustrating complaint you'll find about QuickBooks. Customer support. Long wait times, generic, canned responses. It's a recurring theme, and when you have an urgent financial problem, that kind of support is a really serious issue.
I love this take from Jake M because it's so insightful. He's basically saying, yeah, it's solid, but only if you're already bought into their world. It highlights that this isn't just a tool, it's an ecosystem. And its greatest value comes when you're fully committed to living inside of it.
Okay, we've looked at the features, the price, the ideal user, and we've heard what people are saying, the good and the bad. So, where does that leave us? Let's pull it all together and answer the final question. Is QuickBooks Online the right investment for your business? Here it is, all laid out, side by side. On the pro side, you've got these incredibly deep and customizable features, excellent reporting, it scales with you, and that inventory management is just top-notch. But on the flip side, the cons are serious. It's expensive, customer support has a bad reputation, it can feel a little complicated or crowded, and you really get the best value when you're all in on their platform.
And so, this is the question you really have to ask yourself. Is QuickBooks going to be that powerful partner your business needs to grow and thrive? Or is it an expensive, complex system that you could probably do without? Honestly, the answer really depends on where your business is today and, maybe more importantly, where you plan to take it next.